people to hear this. Our generation is the most irresponsible group of black men in the history of the world. I'm talking about myself. I'm going to tell you why I say that. In 1988, a group was created. Well, actually, in 88, our people were listening to this new form of music called hip-hop. And a group came out called Public Enemy that told us to love ourselves and stand up. And they used terms for us: kings, queens, warriors, lovers, people's proud, sisters and brothers. They told us to have self-respect, and they told us to fight the power. Don't let anybody hold you down. Right. And a whole generation of young people, through music, was beginning to connect with Brother Malcolm X, Omar Wally from the past, with Elijah Muhammad and his teachings, with Marcus Mosiah Garvey and the UNIA, with the freedom fighters of the past, and we were becoming conscious of doing for ourselves, not just in America, but around the world. And then something happened. The small hats, the white so-called Jews, his name was Jerry Heller. He came in and he paid a group called NWA. We don't use the N-word. I have to disagree. I respect my brother, but we're not ends. We can't be ends and black people at the same time. We can't be ends and Africans at the same time. Yes, sir. If we're going to actually make a difference, we have to make the decision as responsible black men to do something we didn't do then. We tried to play the game. Public Enemy tried to peacefully coexist with a group that came out. I'm going to the question, but it's very important. How did we get here? Because they took the black woman from being a black woman. When I grew up, we called them honeys because honey was sweet. Anybody grew up my time, y'all remember, we called them honeys. Baby dolls, something beautiful. And we let a group come out and start defiling black women, making songs about raping black women, so that all of the black women, if you're under 20 years old, you have not lived at a time period where the most prominent word for you is not the B word. You hear it every day. In every song you hear. When I grew up, I never heard a song that called you that. We did not do that. But we allowed a so-called Jew, a small hat named Jerry Heller, to pay our people to make that music. And from that time till now, everything we have heard is that we should kill each other, we should shoot each other, we should rape our women, and that they're bees and hoes. When you inoculate for 25 years black women with the idea that they're bees and hoes, when you inoculate black males with the idea that they're N-words, they have no value, they get locked up and commit the crimes you tell them to commit, they get raped and molested in prison, they come out destroyed as males, and then start defiling one another, and nobody has the courage or the maturity to stand up and say, we were wrong. We should not have negotiated with NWA. We should not have negotiated with black degeneracy. We should have made a stance against it. What we have today is a situation where every one of our young people are under siege, because now whites are paying for the new Uncle Tom that you were talking about before. Who was the new Uncle Tom of our time? The pedophile and the homosexual, who whites are paying to violate our sons and violate our daughters and pull them into cultural degeneracy to destroy black families. When a black female is so confused that she doesn't know that the proper mate is a black male, you don't have to worry about a revolution. You don't even have a family to produce a child to even have a revolution. So what we have right now is a state of emergency where this is the last thing I want to say, because I know everybody wants to say something, but it's a state of emergency, and there's a reason. We are so cowardly because we see that as black men, we sat down and let this happen, and now we can't fix these guys because they're going to prey on my son, and they're going to prey on my little daughter here. So now we got to fix the problem, and we're too scared to go out here and say, we messed up, let's turn it around. We are no longer N-words. We're not using that term. We're not even going to allow it. We are no longer our women what we call bees and whores in the music. We're going to shut you down if you do that. We're going to step directly to you as men, and we will physically prevent you from continuing this. That's what this is going to require. And then ultimately we're going to have to say, no more homosexuality. The only acceptable relationship in the black community is a black man with a black woman with a black man. If you don't like it, let's fight. That's what we got to get.